putting in place today to take effect. Also, I would note it gets it past Election Day when it comes to the repayment process as well. And then the other element here is a rule from the Department of Education that will limit any undergraduate loan payments to 5% of income. Another key piece of this probably hasn't gotten as much attention, but is very important. Now, this isn't going to be welcomed by everyone. In fact, it might upset everyone. Some Democrats have called for much more significant cancellation. Republicans firing away already, saying that this is completely unfair to those who have paid their loans off, who saved and worked for college, and also the economic elements here. Concerns about inflation from critical Democratic economists like Jason Furman, like Larry Summers. White House officials believe that with the restart of the repayment freeze, that in net, this will kind of offset one another in terms of demand versus the pressures, the countervailing pressures that would go against one another, Bianna. But those are things that the White House is going to have to grapple with in the weeks and months ahead. That said, this is a significant step, and one that for months it didn't seem like the president wanted to make. He's now making it with a large push from Senate Democrats in particular behind it.
Yeah, making it in just a little over an hour at 2:15 from the White House. Of course, we'll take his remarks when he does speak. Phil Mattingly, thank you. Well, joining us now is Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren. Senator Warren, thank you so much for joining us. I know this is a really important issue for you. You've spent most of your career as a law professor studying the effects of debt on U.S. families. The average student loan debt in this country, as you know, is around $30,000. You did campaign on $50,000 in debt relief. So what is your reaction to this plan for $10,000?
My reaction is that this is a great day. That today is the day the president.
Bro, how about you fucking figure out a microphone that works first? God damn, lady. What the hell?
The president's going to announce that about 20
This is the most leftist Elizabeth Warren has ever presented herself with, the most leftist audio of all time.
million Americans will never have to make another student loan payment. And another 23 million Americans will have significant relief on their student loans. You know, look, will I keep fighting for more? Of course I will. But look at what's happened. It is truly transformative for tens of millions of Americans. And this program has been very carefully targeted to meet mostly the people who have demonstrated a lot of need, and let's just be blunt, for whom it was hard to go to college. We're going to see $20,000 of debt relief.
Like at Harvard, where she was the first woman of color professor. The first woman of color law professor at Harvard Law. True. That's real, according to the Fordham Review. It's hard. It's hard for me not to say, okay, let's just move on.
For over half of all of the borrowers, and those are disproportionately African Americans.
I mean, you choose to study art? What do you mean you choose to study art? What the fuck does that even mean? What do you think, like 45 million Americans that are saddled with debt all studied art? And even if they did, what good is life without art, you fucking idiot? Do you watch television? Shut the fuck up, okay? Even this, you're watching me right now. You're watching CNN right now. How much of this entire process that you are currently watching was designed and built by fucking art students? I hate these fucking dumbasses, dude. You studied art. Yeah, you should die then. You should suffer.
Disproportionately veterans, disproportionately.
She is technically defying the Harvard meme here, by the way, Elizabeth Warren. So congratulations on that. At least she's like pro debt relief.
Parents and disproportionately first-generation students. So this is about helping America's working.
Motherfuckers be like, you studied art, you choose to suffer on a fucking website built for video game streaming. Okay? Yeah, good luck. No more video games, dumbass. All those fucking art majors, right? They should kick rocks, right? No video games for you. If you are anti-art, I'm coming to your fucking house with the IRS agents, 87,000 of them, and I'm forcing you to just look at the padded walls, okay? That's it. That's your entertainment.
Class Americans.
No more hentai for you, you little freak.
Targeting that
you twisted fuck.
Most relief to those who need it most.
Well,
I think that's pretty good.
Let me ask you about that question as to whether this is equitable enough, because especially from a racial perspective, because the NAACP released this statement in response to this announcement saying the student debt crisis has a disproportionate impact on black borrowers and their families. Across all racial groups, black borrowers hold the most student loan debt, despite also being consistently underserved by post-secondary institutions. Now, I know the administration is trying to incorporate the Pell Grant, given that the Pell Grant recipients largely compose of those who are racially minorities in this country. That having been said, this is not really an endorsement from the NAACP.
So, two things about that you want to focus on. When the NAACP was talking about the program, they were talking about a $10,000 across the board. The fact that it is twice as much loan forgiveness for Pell recipients, and that Pell recipients, that is disproportionately racial minorities, disproportionately veterans and parents and first generation students, the fact that they are getting twice as much relief, and enough relief that literally for millions it will cancel out all of their student loan debt, I think it changes that calculus. Now, like I said, do I want more? You bet I do. And will I continue to fight alongside the NAACP and other groups to have more student loan forgiveness? Yes. But the steps that the administration has taken today are powerful. They are important. There are millions of people right now who should be celebrating over what they have just heard, because their financial lives have just gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah. Isn't this, however, just a Band-Aid to the larger issue at hand, and that is how we got these debts in the first place? The cost of tuition has skyrocketed over the past few decades. You know that, and there are real concerns as to whether colleges are actually delivering enough for Americans in terms of their future earnings.
So I think that we have three things we need to think about, and that is the historic debt that we already have. And that's kind of the headline here, canceling $20,000 of that debt. Part two is how students are going to finance college going forward. And there's a really important part in this statement, and that is that the federal government, in effect, is offering to go into partnership with anyone who wants to go to school and can't afford to just write a check for it. And that is that they won't have to pay more than 5% of their disposable income on their debt. The interest won't mount up on that debt. And at the end of 20 years, they're totally done whether they were able to pay it off or not with that amount. But the third part is absolutely doing more to make sure that colleges and universities and all post-high school education is truly delivering, and that it's keeping costs down. Yeah. This is why I have long urged a bill for schools to have skin in the game when they've got students who are borrowing money to go to school, and also fought hard for transparency in the schools so that they have to reveal data about how much students are actually paying and how long it takes students to graduate and how many are graduating and what happens to them after graduation. But this is the first step. We deal with the debt, we deal with payments going forward, and now it's going to be up to Congress to make sure that we do more to hold the colleges and universities accountable.
Well, as you know, this hasn't been received well by everyone in Congress. Senator Mitch McConnell says that this plan is a slap in the face to working class families. Let me ask you.
I love this. The fuck does Mitch McConnell know? Mitch McConnell can't even come without slapping the face of working class families. He's just, if this was real, if this was actually a slap in the face of working class families, which it's not, okay, it's literally, you know, it's helping middle class and poorer families, okay, it's debt relief for them. But if this was actually a slap in the face of working class families, Mitch would just be mad that he's not the one doing the slapping for once.
What do you say to a family that says, listen, I just spent years paying off my debt?
No. I would say I'm putting you on a spaceship or putting you on a trebuchet and launching you into the fucking sun, you fucking twisted freak. What college did you go to? How much money did your parents fucking have when you went to that dumb fucking college? Okay? Why do you even bring this talking point up? It's not a real talking point. Fox News never brings up the talking points from the left. They never bring up talking points from the left as a means to like to drive up conversation. It's so fucking stupid. Oh, every time anything happens in American media, you see CNN literally do the exact same thing time and time again. Well, here's a really good policy provision that you guys have actually advocated for and are finally following on. And this is going to, release one financial burden from 45 million families. But on the other side, Republicans have claimed that this will kill everyone. What do you have to say to that? What do you have to say to that statement that the Republicans have made up? Why do you want to murder 45 million Americans? Like, why does that need to be discussed? It's not a real thing. Why? Why does that need to be discussed at any capacity?
I didn't have the federal government helping me out, bailing me out, and now I may be doing just that for a family that at some point may be earning more than I do.
This is inherently right-wing. This is inherently reactionary thought. And the only reason why this is going on at CNN is because American media, no matter how fucking liberal they are or whatever, are still slanted heavily to the right, okay? They are still incredibly right-wing.
Look, I'm not at all surprised that Mitch McConnell is attacking this. And the reason he's attacking it is because it is very, very popular. Popular among Democrats, independents, Republicans, popular. And you know why? Because I don't think there's anybody left in America who doesn't know somebody who isn't struggling with student loan debt.
And medical debt. Medical debt.
become
Do medical debt next. Except that's legislation. Congress has to pass that, which is not going to happen. But, try it.
A part of our country now. People for whom their only sin was to want to try to get an education and not be in a family that could afford to write a check for it. And what we're saying is, as a nation, we can do better than that. We can invest in our people. We can help our people. And ultimately, what the data show us is that because of student loan debt, there are many people who don't move out of their mama's basement, who can't save up money to buy a home, who don't start small businesses, who don't start a family. You relieve the debt burden some for those people, and we have more economic activity. In other words, canceling student loan debt is good for the people whose debt is canceled, but it is also good for our economy and the rest of America.
Breaking news overnight in some key primary.
All right. We're going to move on to the Florida and New York primary election results. Some primaries happened yesterday. We're going to talk about that. If you just assume Ronald Reagan is the cause of any bad thing you encounter in life, you'll be right way more often than you'll be wrong. Yeah. I mean, Ronald Reagan is a perfect manifestation of like hyper-capitalist, neoliberal, destroy the federal government in America. He is like the walking embodiment of starving the beast, which is an attitude that is one that even Democrats, contemporary Democrats, advocate for as well. So, yes, this is a good take overall. If you just assume Ronald Reagan is the cause of any bad thing you encounter, you're gonna be right. My wife is literally a doctor and I work too, and we're living in our parents' basement because of student debt and the housing market. Yeah. Fucking got him. What is this? Someday the Democrats will learn how to give people good news in a way that doesn't feel like they're trying to understand the terms and conditions of a Comcast bill. No. That will never happen. Democrats have to literally constantly self-flagellate, even when they're doing something that is objectively good. What? Harvard? Did I say Harvard? What? Pay off your own debt, says generation punish. Every single one of these Harvard motherfuckers is a parent with a blue wiki leak. Wait, what? Why are you saying Harvard? Crazy NSFW. Fox with rabies attacks woman outside of her home. How about we don't watch that then? Should we make everything free? Yes. I agree with this as well. Everyone, let's take 5 minutes to dwell on this fact. 20 million beautiful human beings will have zero debt, $0 in debt, wiped out completely. We've moved mountains, only a few more Himalayas left to go. That, I'm telling you, like that, you're never going to tell me that that's I will not agree with you. Yeah, you can say that it's not good enough, and you're right. I agree with you on that. But goddamn, dude, that is a beautiful fucking thing. It is a beautiful thing. It is a cause for celebration. Sad to see you pushing. Oh, opening juke. I almost fucking banned you so quick. You fucking farting dumbass. Sad to see you pushing anti-intellectualism, telling people not to listen to experts, do better. I was so quick. I was so close.